Hello bookish friends, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and today we are doing a used bookstore shopping vlog and haul. So I'm coming in post actually being at this bookstore and shopping, but I didn't film an intro before I went in because I was kind of like in a rush and had to get to my next store. So I went in quickly, filmed the B-roll, got the books, and then I was like, I'll just film the intro and outro when I get home. Today's video is obviously a book shopping vlog and haul, but not just any book shopping vlog. I actually went to a used bookstore called Read It Again bookstore in Monticello, New York, which is about 2 hours from where I live. Monticello is kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I came across this bookstore probably a year and a half ago. I was in the area of Monticello at a store, and I was like, let me just see if there's any like cute bookstores or Barnes & Noble near here. I have some time to kill, and found Read It Again. And then today I had some time in between the two stores and I decided to go in there and do some book browsing. So I absolutely love this bookstore. It's run by volunteers and it's run by the Monticello Literary something or other. Basically, when you buy books from this store, it helps them teach kids to read, which I absolutely love. So you're buying used books and you're also helping a cause. I absolutely love this bookstore, and that is part of the reason why. Let's do some book browsing and let's roll the B-roll of me actually shopping at this bookstore. So that was the bookstore. There are so many different books in there. It's actually unreal. They have so many different sections too, from kids, cookbooks, biographies, political stuff, fiction, nonfiction, thrillers, mysteries, romance. The romance section is lacking a little bit. It's a lot of like mass market paperbacks, and I don't really love that, but I absolutely love this bookstore. Their pricing is unreal. It's $1.50 for a hardback and 75 cents for a paperback. The only thing is it is cash only, so like when I plan to go there, and if I don't have cash, I obviously can't go, or I have to find an ATM, which is not the end of the world. But I got a big old bag of books today to talk about. I know I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but you know what? I don't go to that bookstore that often, and I don't go to that area that often. So when I do go there, I like to go and browse. And 3 of these books in this pile are for my dad. He really liked the Lawrence Shames, like, it's almost like a cozy comedy thriller series that takes place in Florida, and he really loved those books. And I saw a similar type of vibe book series like that, so I got them for him. So all these books aren't for me, but you know what? I spent $12 on all of these books and I don't feel that bad about it, but we're gonna have to read through some of these quickly. And some of them are books I've literally never heard of before, but like they sounded like something completely different from what I would normally read, so I was like, let's try some new stuff. Without further ado, let's just get right into the haul portion of this video. They're not in the order that I got them because I put them in the bag and they just totally came out of order when I got them. So we're just gonna go in order of how I put them in the bag. The first book I have here is All the Lonely People by Mike Gale. This just sounded so sweet, and honestly the cover got me. This is about a dad who, his daughter is abroad in Australia and they call each other once a week to talk. The dad is actually really struggling with like being lonely and sad and just like feeling stuck in his life at his age. He paints the perfect picture of himself in retirement, saying like, oh, he's happy, he's traveling, has a lot of friends, he's out and about doing stuff, when it's actually not true and he's really home alone. All of his days are the same. They drag on without him seeing a single person, and then his daughter announces sporadically that she's coming to visit, so he either needs to admit to her that like, okay, my life sucks, I do the same thing every day, I'm really lonely, or he has to go out and about and make his dream life a reality. So that just sounded really cute, and honestly I just love this cover, and like look, it wraps around to the back. Like how cute is that? I love like illustrative covers like this, so decided to pick this one up because I know it's gonna make me want to cry my eyes out. The next book I have is The Gate of Angels by Penelope Fitzgerald. I have no idea what this is about, and I don't really remember why I picked this up. It just sounded like something so different for me. It says, in 1912, rational Fred Fairley, one of Cambridge's best and brightest, crashes his bike and wakes up in bed with a stranger. Fellow casualty, Daisy Saunders, a charming, pretty, generous working class nurse. So begins a series of complications, not only of the heart, but also of the head, as Fred and Daisy take up each other's education and turn each other's philosophies upside down. Just sounds like a really good, like, I don't know, fiction story. So I was like, cute. And it's short. It's relatively short, so I feel like I can finish this fairly quickly, but I don't know. I read the synopsis and I was like, all right, that sounds like something that will like make my brain work and think and feel all the things without just being like murder, fantasy, spice, and all that. So very excited about this one. The next book I bought is The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. It's obviously some sort of fantasy. I wasn't gonna get this because I was like, oh, I feel like I've seen that and heard of it. But then I like briefly read the synopsis and there was like 3 keywords that got me. Pompeii, brothel, and actually I think those are the only 2 words. So Chris and I went to Italy about 2 years ago at this point and went to Pompeii, and I went into the brothel part and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. I don't love the idea of a brothel and I think that's fucking nasty, but like hearing the history about stuff like this and like how people used to live, and knowing that I have been to Pompeii and I'm gonna see a book that took place in Pompeii is really cool. So I was like, all right, for 75 cents, this book is in fantastic condition. It is a little thick, but we shall see. Honestly, I'm not gonna act like I know what this is about. I just know it's a fantasy book about somebody in Pompeii. She and the other woman in the brothel probably form together, form connections, and I'm sure some sort of problem is solved. That's all I know. This is actually the last book I picked up, and I picked it up on a whim. I saw the cover and like briefly read like the little snippets of people commenting on it in the back and was like, sure, for 75 cents, why not? Cornelia Sky by Timothy Brandoff. I think this is about like a bellhop, I don't know, a doorman at a very like infamous 5th Ave apartment building. This building houses New York's elite, including a former first lady whose husband was assassinated in office. He starts to form connections with her son. And then something happens and I guess he gets some sort of offer that probably changes his life and whatnot. So I guess we'll see what this one's about. Also relatively short, so I'm all about the short books lately and books that I've never heard of. All right, we're getting into hardcovers now. So the first book in hardcover that I have is The Deep End of the Ocean by Jacqueline Mitchard, I think is how you pronounce it. I have no idea what attracted me to this book. I think it was, obviously it was a spine because that's what was facing out. But then I read the description and it sounds like really messed messed up and like I'm gonna cry the entire time. It's about this mother who her son goes missing. She turned around for 5 minutes and then her son went missing. He was 3 years old, no one can find him. The police were searching for him. He just like up and vanished, and then it passes over 9 years and then they move back to where they were originally from. Something comes up and then it brings them all back to the days when the son disappeared, I think, and I think we figure out what happened. It's a story about a family redeemed and reborn, one that will stun you with its pain and surprise you with its hope. I guess I was just like into books that are potentially gonna make me cry and make me really sad. That's fun, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I had 3 books for my dad. My dad is really the one who got me into reading, and he went through this phase where he read this like cozy mystery series that takes place in Florida, and it's a bunch of like silly thriller stuff, and it was, I forget the name of the series, but the books were by Lawrence James and they all took place in Florida, and he like loved them. And so I saw these books and decided to get them for him. I have no idea what they're about, so I'm not even gonna try to explain. The first is Hurricane Punch by Tim Dorsey. They're all by Tim Dorsey. I don't know, there's some sort of like thriller cop mystery detective series taking place in Florida, and I guess they're pretty funny. So the first one is Hurricane Punch. I kind of love these like goofy graphic covers. The second one is Electric Barracuda. This was the first one that grabbed my attention because I was like, whoa, that's a pretty cover. Another thriller, obviously. And then Clownfish Blues, also by Tim Dorsey. I don't know if these are like supposed to be read in any specific order, but you know what? That's for my dad to figure out, not me. So look at how like pretty and bright and vibrant all these covers are. So he'll be very excited about those. The second book I picked up, I saw and I was like, I didn't really love her other books, but we're gonna try this one because this one seems more up my alley. And that is Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I did not like, I think it was like the Atlas 6 or something maybe. Yeah, I did not like the Atlas 6. Oh shit. Oh no. I just thought this was part of a series because it has her other books in here and it has the Atlas series and then it has 3 other books, and I was like, wait, is this a series? So I did not like the Atlas 6 series. I just think it was too like slow for me. So I'm hoping this isn't the same. This is about a real estate agent. She's trying to sell a house that's haunted by this ghost, and then the ghost refuses to move on until he figures out how he died, why he died, and all of that. The real estate agent teams up with a medium, and it says he is definitely a shameless fraud, but he isn't entirely without his uses, seeing as he's actually the godson of death. They work together to figure out what happened to this guy, and I'm sure it gets pretty crazy. It says there's a game that the immortals play. There's only one rule: don't lose. I like love this cover, and the end pages in this one are really pretty. Oh, that's pretty too. When I saw this, I was very excited. It is a little damaged, but you know what? It was $1.50. I cannot complain. The last book I have is actually the first book I picked up, and that is While Justice Sleeps by Stacey Abrams. I have heard nothing but great things about this book. It's like a political thriller where somebody is involved in politics and there's crook politicians, obviously. And it's just a thriller about that. I'm pretty sure like somebody goes missing and he's a really high person in the political world, and somebody that like works for him tries to figure it out. Chris's cousin actually told me about this book and I was like, eh. I tried to get the audiobook, and when I would get the audiobook, I wasn't in the mood for it. So I saw this and I was like, sure, for $1.50, why not? So this is my little book haul. I got 10 books for only $12, which is fantastic considering most of these are all in pretty great condition, but I only got 7 of the books for myself. 3 of them are for my dad, so don't come at me. I know I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but you know what? That little $12 that I spent, let's do some girl math here. I spent cash, so I got it for free, and 3 of them were for my dad. So it was basically all free. Isn't it sad how we rationalize these things? Honestly, I don't feel that bad about it, like I said, because the money does go towards a good cause. I love that bookstore, and I will definitely continue to go there every time I'm in the Monticello area. But yeah, that's my little bookshop shopping vlog and haul, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give this video some love, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye!